Okay, so the second thing I mentioned was to ask for help. Now, there's a popular phrase that says you have to owe to own. And with that said, most persons, their house is under mortgage. They have a loan on their car. Maybe they take a loan for personal expenses, medical bills. And the truth is that most Jamaicans are living off credit. Direct credit, credit card, whatever way you want to put it, they live off credit. And at this time, persons might be overwhelmed as to how will I honor my loan agreements with the various institutions. Now, Jamaicans are a very unique set, a very unique nation. And when it comes to asking for help, especially financial help, they tend to shy away from that. But I would advise all of you, whether you're Gateway members or members of other financial institutions, to go in and speak to your banker and ask for a payment break if you need it. Now, a lot of institutions now are offering moratorium on loans, and it's a good time to capitalize on that. Now, with the moratorium, I mean, it's usually, every time I use that word, persons always say, what's that? Well, in layman term, a moratorium is really like a payment break, or what we would call a payment holiday. How it works is that you, say for example, you have a loan that's due in April, 2nd of April, that's next month, a couple days from now, and you want a break. So you are out of a job, you're laid off. Go into your bank, explain the situation to them, and they'll work out something for you. I don't think there's any financial institution here in Jamaica that would turn back a customer who has been affected in terms of income capabilities during COVID-19. They'll turn them back and say, listen, we're not going to give you any leeway. I don't think there's any bank now that would do that. But there's something you need to know, however, about a moratorium. And persons ask that all the time, what happens to my interest? Now, how banks operate, their major source of income is really interest on loans, interest on investments and fees and so on. So the loan interest income is a major revenue for banks. So they're not going to freeze the interest and say, okay, you're not going to pay until 6 months down the line. The interest is still being accumulated over the moratorium period. What it does is that it's deferred to be paid at a later date. So the interest that you would have to pay next month, April, when your loan is due, you don't have to pay that in April. If you get another month holiday, you don't have to pay it in May. But come in June, you would have had to pay all that interest that has been accumulating from April up to the time of payment. Now, this is where you need to put pen to paper. One, you need to ask yourself, do I need this moratorium? If it's a case where my income is not directly affected, should I take it because it's available to take? Now, what about looking at it from another viewpoint? Instead of taking a payment break on your loan, why not look at assessing your expenses and see how much of your current expense you can shave off to allow a little more wiggling space to pay your loan? Now, COVID-19 forces most of us, or it has forced a number of us to cut back on our expenses, like entertainment, eating out, because, with the whole social distancing, you can't eat out and so on and so forth. And you're more cautious in terms of, where you go for recreation. As a matter of fact, persons are staying home, period. Daycare are closed. So that expense is now money back into your pocket. Now, look at cutting other expenses as well. Because the thing is that most persons think that when you get a payment holiday, it's all nice now because it's a break. But you have to understand the after effect of a payment break. And also, it will extend your contract period. So if the loan was slated to be closed in January 2025 and you get 6 months moratorium, the payment date now shifts to June 2025. Now, if you had made any previous commitments or any previous plan between January to June 2025, you might have to put that on hold because your loan is now extended another 5 months. So whilst the moratorium is attractive, you have to think about it and plan wisely. Now, for those persons who might operate a business account, business has severely been affected. How about asking your bank for a waiver on transaction fees or a waiver on your overdraft fees and stuff like that? Do you have to utilize all the services of your business now in this financial crisis? So these are things that you would need to ask yourself and to analyze as well. Now, I saw this other article from Sue. Her name is Suze Orman, and she made mention of 3 warrior moves you should take now in COVID-19, how to handle fear and make smart money moves during the corona crisis. Now, one thing she mentioned was, again, to ask for help. All the articles I've been reading since this morning, they all point to one thing: get help. It says, doing nothing and avoiding all your bills is not a warrior move. If you can't pay your bills or could really use some short-term relief, call anyone you owe money, which in our case is the bank or your neighbor, and ask them what help is available. So that's exactly what I was saying a while ago. Go into your bank, go into your credit unions, and ask what avenues are available. Because the reality is, if you do not seek this help and your loan goes into delinquency, that will haunt you even after COVID has passed. Now, there's something you need to know about credit bureaus and delinquency and how it affects your credit report. Now, if you are delinquent or if you have episodes of delinquency, that delinquent record follows you for the next 7 years. It stays on your credit report for 7 years. So if you go to any other financial institution for a loan within that time, you're going to be red flagged. And because most banks now are automating their loan approval process, sometimes your credit rating is one of the major determinants as to whether or not a bank or a credit union will lend you money. So don't think that, oh, you're all pried up and you don't want to go in and talk to your bank. Go in and speak to them. It is in your best interest and their best interest as well to ensure that they keep you on a good financial path, because this will pass. COVID-19 will pass and life goes on after COVID-19. So set yourself in a financially safe place to ease the burden where possible.